Hello everyone, welcome. This is a nice gentle practice that will hopefully give you some time, some space to feel a bit more grounded, a little more steady, calm, patient, any other words that you want to fill in there. In short, giving your nervous system a chance to slow down and recalibrate or recenter. So stay warm, bundle up, stay cozy, leave your fuzzy socks on, whatever you'd like. And let's have a pillow or even a couple of pillows or even just a folded up blanket handy, okay? And now let's begin. So we'll start in a nice wide child's pose. So we're going to separate our knees about shoulder width apart or just however wide that you feel comfortable with. You can take your folded up blanket out in front of you or even, a stack of a couple pillows if you want. Just like make yourself a pillow tower there if you choose. And then just soften your way forwards, and you can rest your forehead onto your pillow, your blankets, or if you've got a little stack of pillows, you can even kind of drape your belly, your chest, and your head forwards there onto your pillows. Now take a deep, deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. And as you take that exhale, let your body get really heavy and soft into the ground. Now you may want to rock your hips a little bit from side to side, just a nice little gentle rock, a gentle little cradle. You can let your head just kind of naturally rock back and forth with that movement. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure that your shoulders are starting to really release, to let go of any tightness, any holding, or any tension. Big sigh again, so releasing any stress, any heaviness, any gripping from your body, breathing all the way in. And big, easy breath out. Now let's stay here for another few breaths. Feeling how your breath in and your breath out really mirror each other in length and in quality. So your inhales, and steady stream of breath coming all the way in. Your exhales, again, a nice smooth flow of air out of your lungs, all the way out to the bottom. Let your belly relax, your abdominals relax. Continue to feel your body, your bones, your muscles, really releasing into the ground. Let the floor hold you and support you. Now you can stay right where you are. If you're really happy where you are, then just stay. Otherwise, we can add on slightly. So you can lift up just enough to kind of slide. You may need to move your pillows and blankets and whatnot to do this. Slide your hands together into a prayer position and kind of just gather your elbows towards each other so they're, shoulder width apart. Sinking back down into your child's pose, you can kind of try and inchworm your arms a little bit further away from you. So you're getting a little longer through your arms, longer through your waist, your spine. And then option to pull your hands, especially your thumbs, towards the back of your neck. And then we can hang out here for a little bit longer. Feeling those nice slow breaths. So we're trying to make some space, some literal space in our body, a little more breathing room in our body, a little more breathing room in our minds, so mentally and emotionally as well. So slowing down your breath, slowing down your body, slowing down your thoughts. Now let's start to release the hands forwards if you had them back behind your head, your neck. And then lift up Scoot your hands underneath you and shift up towards hands and knees. Now from here, we're just going to pull our hips forward. So let your hips sink forwards towards the front of your mat. Kind of gather and wrap your shoulders, your arms, your upper arms back to kind of peek your chest forward. So you can inhale where you are. And then exhale, pull from your hips all the way back to your heels. Keep your hands planted nice and strong. Let's do that 2 more times. So rise up through hands and knees. Hips sink forwards as you hug really firmly your shoulders and your upper arm bones back. Inhale. And then just like a nice little slinky slide, pull your hips back towards your heels with your exhale. Very last time. Breathing in as you sink the hips towards the ground and open up the front of your chest. Exhale, hips back towards your heels. Good. Rise up to hands and knees. Let's take a little stretch here for our feet, like a sort of self-generated foot massage. So if you've got that folded up blanket, you might want to put this underneath your feet. And I'm going to turn slightly just so that you can see. So you can have the tops of your feet on that blanket, and then you want to take the top of your right foot, the top of that arch, and get it right into kind of the soft part of your left foot, right in the middle, okay? And then as you sit your hips back onto your heels, you're going to apply a bit of weight, so the weight of your hips sitting on your heels, onto that right foot, which is going to create a nice sort of massage into the bottom of your left foot. Okay, so you can kind of fiddle with it, get that nice placement where you need it. And then sit back, take a nice big shrug of your shoulders. And while we settle here, sit here and let our feet just kind of marinate in that nice little pressure, that massage. Let's give our head a little roll. So drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can wiggle out the bottom half of your jaw. Make sure that your jaw is nice and relaxed. And just pause here, letting the weight of your head be enough of a weight to just tug some length into that left side of your neck. Another deep breath all the way in. And a deep breath all the way out. Slowly roll your head down through center. Draw your head back upright, and then let's release. So slide your hands forwards, uncross your feet, and let's go to the other side. So you're going to take the top of your left foot and get it right into the middle of your right foot, so right into that soft spot of the arch, and then sit back, the weight of your hips, creating that nice pressure, that nice massage, and wiggle around. Try and get it into that nice sweet spot where you're getting that juicy little massage. Sitting back, again, just release those shoulders, nice and easy. And then allow your left ear to drop down towards your left shoulder so you're getting that nice length through the right side of your neck. Go ahead, wiggle out your jaw a little bit if you need that reminder to get really soft through the muscles of your face, your jaw. Close your eyes if you choose. Breathe deep, slow, and steady. Just a few more breaths here. Let your head continue to hang nice and heavy. Keep the weight of your pelvis nice and anchored down so you're getting that nice massage into your feet. And then slowly roll your head down through towards the center of your chest. Draw your head upright, and then slide your hands forwards, and let's release the feet. You can just move your pillow, your blanket, whatever you were using, out of the way. Sit down onto your bum, and bring your feet out in front of you. Widen your feet wider than your mat, so your feet are like off of your mat, kind of onto the floor. Fingertips just back behind you. Let's start to windshield wiper our knees. So drop your right knee in towards the center. You can actually kind of flex your feet a little bit here. That just stabilizes your knees. Drape your right knee in towards the center as your left knee goes out towards the side. pause there, getting that nice internal rotation of that thigh bone in your hip socket. And then nice and slow, switch it on over to the other side. Now you can stick just with this. You don't have to add anything else on. I will show you how to add on if you want to though. So let's again switch sides, right knee in towards the middle. Now if you want to add on, bring the weight into that left hand, and you can press into both of your knees, both of your shins to lift your hips up away from the ground, and then you can sweep that right arm nice and long in line with your head. Slowly bring your hips back down to the ground, and then big windshield wiper over to the other side. So just stay here, bum on the ground. Don't have to add on, or bring weight into that right hand. Press into both of your shins, hips rise off of the ground, left arm reaches out in line with your head. Easy, sink your hips down, and let's do that one more time. So your variation of that windshield wiper, with or without the lift of the hips. Check with your breath, make sure you've still got nice deep breathing going on. Nice and relaxed breathing, so no tension, tightness within your breath. And just breathe at a nice natural pace, so you're not holding your breath. Last time, switching over to the other side. You're not holding your breath at all. You're not trying to, force your breath into a particular rhythm, but just breathing slowly as your body needs to. All right, come on back down through center. From here, let's take our right leg up towards the top of our mat. Sit onto your right hip and swing your left leg back behind you. Now, this left knee, I'm going to pad it up. So I'm going to put something underneath my left inner knee. So I'm creating sort of like this 90 degree angle with both of my legs. Right shin parallel to the top of the mat. Left knee sticking straight out to the side from my left hip. Okay. So from there, this is called deer pose. So in that deer pose, fingertips onto the ground. Spin your chest, point directly to the front of your mat. Take an inhale breath to lift up through your chest. And then exhale, a little bend to the elbows as you ripple down and folding forwards over top of that right leg. Let's do that 2 more rounds. So rise on up on your inhale. Ripple down with your exhale. And last one, come on up, breathe in. And ripple down. Breathe out. Now you can pause here. Maybe release your hands out in front of you, or even release onto your forearms. Feel free to just let your head hang. You could make a stack out of your hands if you want. Rest your forehead, or even have your elbows on the ground and rest your forehead into the heels of your hands. Soft belly, soft jaw. Relax your face and just breathe. So there's nothing else that you have to do here, but stay with your breath and keep that breath nice and easy, nice and relaxed, nice and deep. So you can feel your entire rib cage softening, so that as you breathe, your back ribs, the side ribs, the front ribs are all expanding together like a balloon, expanding in all directions equally. Let's take one more round of breath here on this side. So deep inhale, deep exhale. And then lift yourself up away from the ground. And we'll take sort of like a little swizzle over towards the back of your mat. So we're just going to switch legs by kind of coming through center here. Take your time. You can almost kind of just arrive in the right alignment for the other side. So I'm going to just make sure that inner right knee again is padded up. Left shin sort of parallel to that back edge of the mat. Get that sort of 90 degree angle of both of your legs. Fingertips down, and let's take those 3 ripples up and down again here. Inhale, rise up. Try to lift up through your chest. And then exhale, bending your elbows as you very softly, sweetly melts down towards the ground. Give yourself 2 more of those on your own rhythm and your own pace of breath. Just remember, you don't have to rush anything, so if the pace that I'm going is a little too fast for you, then just slow it down. Breathe at your own timing. And after you've done about 3 of those little ripples up and down, let's settle into this forward fold. So leaning to your forearms or resting your forehead or however you want to support yourself here. Get nice and heavy into the ground so you're letting go of as much effort, as much physical effort as possible. And just breathe. We've got about 4 or 5 rounds of inhale and exhale. Again, slowing down our breath, slowing down our body, slowing down our thoughts. Maybe 1 more full round of breath where you are. And then rise back up. Take your time. Let's take that swizzle all the way back around towards the front of our mat. And this time we're going to swing through towards our hands and our knees. Let's place our hands nice and wide, shoulder width, spread out the fingers, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. If you prefer not to take downward dog, you could return to child's pose or come into puppy dog pose like so. Okay. If you are moving to downward dog, sliding your hips up and then back. Keeping a little bend in your knees if you want to, and allowing your head to totally drop towards the ground. Let your head dangle. Allow your heels to be softly heavy towards the ground. And just keep that nice, firm sort of reach and press of your hands into the ground so you're supporting the shape with long, strong arms. If you'd like to pedal your heels a few times, you can, letting the backs of your legs get a little longer, and the backs of the legs stretch out. And then from here, we'll walk our hands back towards our feet. So you're coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Just get those feet nice and parallel, spread out your toes nice and wide into the ground. Bend your knees a little bit or a lot if your hamstrings are tight or if your lower back feels a little bit sensitive. You can have your legs a little more lengthened if you choose, if that feels better for you. But what we're doing is really dangling our upper body. And here you may want to choose to sway your head, your torso slightly from side to side. Or just stay still. You can kind of bobble your head out a little bit if you want. You could even use your hands here while you're in this sort of forward dangle and massage the back of your neck. It can feel really nice. Give your scalp a little rub too if you want. And then let's come into our yogi squat. So fingertips down, peek forwards, just lengthen out the spine and walk your feet a little bit wider. We'll turn our toes slightly out and our heels slightly in and soften the hips down. Half squat is like so. So if you need to protect anything going on in your knees, your ankles, your hips, or anywhere else, half squat is great. Deeper squat, also great. Totally up to you. Just want to make sure that your heels stay grounded on the floor. Now let's lengthen out our spine. So sort of draw your shoulders slightly back and try to feel or imagine your spine getting longer, extending right up and out of the top of your head. Get nice and soft down into those hips, down to your hip sockets. And let's breathe about 2 or 3 nice slow rounds of inhale and exhale. Shoulders stay soft, face, jaw stays soft. One more deep round of breath in and out. And then release your fingertips to the mat again. Lengthen your knees, parallel your feet. And then just walk your hands forwards again, back out to that downward facing dog. Nice long arms. Again, that nice firm press of your hands into the mat to support this shape. Let your head drop. And then soften your knees down to the ground. Okay, let's send the right leg straight back behind us. So right leg nice and long. Take an inhale breath. And on your exhale, tug your right knee in towards your forehead, in towards your nose. And you can round your back here, round your spine. Let's do one more of those. So inhale, right leg extends behind you. And exhale, pull right knee in towards your forehead. Send that right leg back behind you. Inhale, breath. And then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, or kind of wiggle it forwards however you need. Now, if this back knee is going to feel at all sensitive, scooch your blanket underneath there so you've got some nice padding. Let's come onto our fingertips and let your hips really sink forwards here. So heavy through your hips. Gather your shoulders back just slightly, trying to, again, peek your chest forwards. And there's that nice sun peeking out. Winter sun. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, pull your hips back. Lengthen your front leg. So you're flexing those right toes kind of up towards the ceiling. And just let your head and your chest softly bow down towards that inside of your right leg. Let's do that again. So bend the right knee, sink your hips forwards. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Drag your hips back. Flex your right toes to the ceiling. Softly drop your head and bow inwards. Now rebend that right knee. Let's press our back leg straight. Keep your left hand on the ground. And a nice low twisted lunge. Let's sweep the right arm open towards the ceiling and then gather your right shoulder back. So you're spinning your chest towards that right side of your mat, getting a nice spiral, little twist through your spine. Last breath in, really reach and open up through right shoulder. And exhale, take your right hand back down towards the ground. From here, let's lower that left knee to your blanket again, or to the ground. Pull your hips slightly back, and we're turning our left toes a quarter turn towards the left. So your left shin is parallel to the top of your mat. Let's bring our right forearm on top of our right thigh. I'm kind of pulling my hips underneath me here slightly. And then we'll take that left arm and sweep it up and over. So left bicep is kind of framing my left ear here. So this is a modified version or variation of side angle pose. If you would like to, take that right hand and you can reach down towards the ground on the inside of your right foot. So nice side body length, side body stretch here. Wherever you are, big, easy breaths. Try to very softly lean back, especially through that top shoulder, your left shoulder. So you're opening your chest towards the side wall. Keep your face calm and relaxed. One more full breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Let's rise up through center. So you're going to lift your torso up through center. Take that left hand, your back hand, tend it to the floor on the back of your mat. Stretch your right leg out nice and long and sweep your right arm out in line with your right ear. So this is our stargazer pose, and here you can really spin your chest open towards the ceiling and almost move into a little bit of a back bend. Pause there, lengthen it out for a breath. Good, and then sweep back up through center, and all we're gonna do is kind of bend that front knee, cartwheel your hands down, turn your left toes to point to the back of your mat again, and release your right shin to the ground as well. Okay, left leg stretches back behind you, inhale breath, moving into the other side. Left knee curls in towards your forehead, exhale breath. And again, breathing in to lengthen out the leg, lengthen out your spine. Knee to forehead and exhale. And last one, send that leg back on your breath in. This time step your left foot towards the outside of your left hand. Give it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to come forwards if you want. Pad up your back knee if you want. And then come onto your fingertips and sink your hips forwards. Really, really heavy pelvis. And you can just take that little gather of your shoulders back, peeking your sternum, your chest, your face out in front of you. Breathe in slowly, deeply. And then as you exhale, drag your hips back, flex those left toes up towards the ceiling, and just gently bow down. Again, rocking forwards. Breathe in. Nice, easy breath. And then hips gather back. Exhale. Again, really flex those left toes up towards the ceiling, getting that nice stretch not only through your hamstring, but also into your calf, into your Achilles, that whole back of the left leg. And then shift your hips forwards. Now this time we're pressing that back leg straight off of the ground. Keep your right hand tented to the floor. Low twist. Sweep your left arm open to the ceiling and spin your chest towards that left side of your mat. Really go for that spin of your chest. Gather your top arm slightly back behind you. Pause there, luxuriate there in that nice open twist. And then slowly take your top hand down. Lower that back knee to the mat again. Now we're drawing the hips slightly back over top of your knee. And then turn your right toes a quarter turn to the right side. So shin parallel to the top of the mat. Now I'm taking my left forearm up on top of my left thigh, kind of gathering my hips underneath me, and then sweeping the right arm up and over, right bicep in line with my right ear. Again, this variation on side angle pose. Stay here, or just like on the other side, option to take that left hand down to the inside of your left foot. So you're probably going to feel a nice side body lengthening here through that right side waist, kind of to the outside of your right hip. That's good. Let's pause and breathe into that space. Remember, we're trying to make a little more room, a little more breathing room for our bodies, for our minds, for our thoughts, for our emotions. Make some space. Last round of breath here. And then rise up, take your time. Right hand is reaching towards the back of your mat. Extend that left leg out nice and long, and take a big extension, big reach of your left arm along with your left ear. Maybe spin your chest slightly open towards the ceiling there. You're almost moving into a little bit of an arch. Pause there again for a nice round of inhale, nice round of exhale. And then take your time to gather yourself back up through that neutral position, and then cartwheel your hands down, and let's step that left leg back. If you want to keep your knees on your blanket, go for it, or move that blanket, your choice. Cat and cow, inhale, let your belly drop, shoulders hug back, and exhale, big rounding of your spine. Again, inhale, nice and easy through your spine, nice and loose. Exhale to gather, to round in, to really press all of that air out of your lungs. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. Now let's slide that blanket out from underneath your knees. If you do have something there, come onto your belly, so just however you want to get there. Lower down onto your belly. Tense your fingers out to the sides of your mat, nice and wide. And let's take 2 ripples up and down into a little back bend, into a cobra. So start with your shoulders lifting up off the ground like you're trying to stitch your shoulder blades together on the back of your chest. And then rise up just as far as your body is willing to go, moving into that nice back bend. Keep lots of space in your neck. Shoulders are down away from your ears. With your next breath out, melt down through your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And then one more time, rippling up off the ground and pausing at the top of that little back bend. And then with an exhale, belly melts down, ribs, chest melt all the way down. Turn yourself over onto your back. Once you're on your back, let's just hug both knees in towards your chest. You may rock a little bit from side to side here, massaging across the back of your pelvis. And then scooch the hips over towards the right, like an inch or 2 inches. And let's keep our inner knees, our inner thighs stacked together. Left hand to the outside of your right leg, just to help gather your legs over towards the left into a nice supine twist. Let's try to kind of get their knees up to about belly button height. And then let that right arm float out to the right side, palm of your hand open to the ceiling. Let's stay here for 3 or 4 nice, deep, easy breaths. Really give in to gravity, so let gravity softly open up through that right shoulder, the front of your chest on that right side. Let gravity hold your hips and your legs nice and easy and heavy into the ground. Keep your head soft, your jaw soft. And then slowly come on back up through center. And we'll take that to the other side. So a little scooch of your hips over to the left. A couple inches, and your knees and your thighs together. Right hand is going to help gather the legs over towards the right side of your mat, about in line with your belly button with those knees. Take that left arm, let it release wide to the left side. And it's as if your body here, when you're lying on the ground, it's as if your body is like a towel or a sheet that you drape over the back of a chair. It's just completely draping, surrendering. So allow your body here to just mold into this shape and mold into the ground without any resistance. Take those deep breaths, nice, deep, nourishing inhales, cleansing, softening exhales. Slowly come on back through center again. Get your hips underneath your rib cage. Give those knees another little squeeze in. And then last shape we'll move into is happy baby pose. So for some of us, if happy baby, catching the outside edges of your feet, if that's not quite accessible or if it doesn't feel comfortable, then you can just keep holding onto your knees, holding onto your shins, or just kind of open your knees slightly out towards your armpits. So you're just lengthening a little bit towards that inner thigh line. Okay, so that's an option if you choose. If you are grabbing your feet Let the weight of your arms just be a nice soft anchor down for those thigh bones. And here again, you may rock slightly from side to side. It might come naturally as this nice sort of soothing motion. Let's take one last breath here in not child's pose, happy baby pose. Similar names. And then let your feet release, knees into your chest, squeeze them all the way in. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, draw your forehead up towards your knees. Get nice and tiny, nice and small. Gather right in tight. Breathe in there. And then with your exhale, let's release out onto the ground. Now here, if you have a couple pillows nearby, you could slide your pillows underneath the backs of your knees, okay, just as a nice little support for your lower back. And if you have a blanket, feel free to take that blanket and drape it over your belly, your hips, your chest as a bit of warmth and also a bit of weight, that nice weighted quality that can really help your body feel calm, grounded, and steady. Rest your hands wherever feels comfortable, on your belly or out by your sides. And if you can, close your eyes. Slowly fill yourself up with breath and slowly empty all of that breath out. Feel the space between your inhale and your exhale, a little bit of quietness. See if you can extend that space into your mind, so finding the quietness in between your thoughts. Feel the ground underneath you, steady, supporting. Let your body give in to that support. Let's take our last breath here together. Nice deep breath, nourishing breath. And exhale, maybe a sigh, if you'd like. Now, if you're just getting into this, then stay. Okay? For the sake of this video, I'm going to come out of this, but if you are wanting to stay, please do so as long as you choose. When you are ready to come up off the ground, roll over to one side and nice and quiet, nice and gentle, come back up to your seat.